This ship used to have an important name. Back when there were thousands of people to call it by that name. Now, barely 100 humans remained inside this empty, floating cathedral. As far as anyone else in the galaxy was concerned, the Fade, flagship of the Nestorian Tetrarchy, had suffered a fulmination emergence incident, and the entire crew had been swallowed by hell itself. May their souls find the glory of hope. Amen. Well, it was true. Grand Sister Admiral Aurelia did release all the bindings to the ship's core. Some anorexic, frail half-demon did rattle against the hull a couple of days, but that's not what killed thousands of Inquisitors. Aurelia sent most of them off on escape pods with a nice pension. Her pet archangel took care of the more zealous ones. Only the very few she could trust remained now, the ones that mattered to her. They no longer had to oversee the seeding of entire suffering planet farms, no longer had to harvest said planets and carry the embryos of demons across the void. No more orders, no more masters. Only the door and the call that throbbed behind it. Even by depleting the entire cargo, literally millions of souls worth of demonic encasements, the journey would still take months. Good. This gives her time to prepare.
"We are close,"
said Vesperis, the entirety of the Fade's computational power given voice and reason. It was always cold and clinical.
"Final sacrament will be required."
"You don't arrive at this place,"
came another voice slithering into her thoughts.
"You become it."
Aurelia gave the order.
"Take us in."
The ship pulled the life from the surviving crew, each confined in their pain vats, willing sacrifices all, so she could reach inside.
"Location attained,"
said the Vesperis, its voice ragged now, corrupted by the blood of so many martyrs.
"Welcome to Terminus. Estimated age predates entropy."
The inner structure was navigable. The ship drifted through it like a key into a lock. They were no longer peering through peepholes. They were the key. This was the door about to open. Aurelia detached the straps off her listening cradle, limbs atrophied and a headache so deep her vision blurred red. The giant main gates of the ship groaned as they opened, a sound like rusted stars being dragged across iron skies. The space resembled a decrepit cathedral, but the scale was all wrong, made of black stone with gold irisations. Aurelia stepped into it barefoot, robes scorched at the hem. Columns rose around her, too high, too curved. They bent inward, like a throat about to swallow. She moved forward with the steadiness of ritual, hand near her blade, words of the Vesperis still whispering behind her.
"Location unstable. Entity detected. Designation unknown. Signature."
At the far end of the apse stood a figure of impossible symmetry and unbearable gravity. A man-shaped idea dressed in golden cloth, glowing with perfect theological contempt.
"There you are,"
it said, voice as soft as ash, as sharp as judgment.
"The one who knocked."
I didn't knock. I had a key.
"You knew the cost, but you lit the engines anyway. You ended 91 lives to turn the key in my door."
Each of them made this choice.
"It would not have worked if they hadn't. We both know that. Oh, sister, the bridges you burned to get to me. Have you forgotten the planets you harvested, the oceans of lonely eyes?"
You are primordial misalignment. Star of the morning.
She said the last part, breathing in and making the sign of the cross.
We are a bit too deep for that ancient gesture to help, don't you find? You've come far, little sister,
he said smoothly, voice like a choir losing faith mid-hymn.
Burned your name, your crew, your orders, all for truth.
For choice.
He smiled a slow, cruel curve.
There is no such thing.
He paced slowly, hands clasped behind his back, filling the chamber with his golden red presence.
Choice is the pretty mask he dressed our inevitabilities in, while we...
He stopped suddenly, a flicker of unease crossing his features. His foot caught on something, an invisible thread stretched taut across the floor. His eyes darted down, wide with sudden horror.
No,
he whispered, voice trembling.
What did you bring here? What did you do?
He bent, fingers trembling as they grasped the thread.
This isn't your domain. This is mine.
From the shadows of the unseen arches above him descended the thin silhouette of a spider, a mass of endless clicking limbs. Confidence shattered. He tried to turn and run, but it was too late. The thing wrapped around him with terrible hunger, teeth like stone thorns sinking deep. His screams ended in their own echo, and the sound of shattering bones. Aurelia's breath caught. The spider turned toward her. It skittered through the vast space with the swiftness of something that ignores time. It stopped in front of her. One of its limbs made a quick, precise movement, describing a square as if carving a piece of reality. And then the space between Aurelia and the spider was occupied by a mirror, surface pooling with liquid hate. Her eyes met her own reflection in the black, glassy surface, but something was deeply wrong. Her reflection was upside down, lips stretched into a grin that wasn't hers. Too many teeth, too much delight in the wrong places. The reflection's eyes glittered with something wet, dark, and unblinking.
Unmannered, wasn't I? A tear in the muscle of my courtesy.
Each word came with the faint sound of clicking fangs from behind the mirror, like a puppet, speaking while the mouth stays hidden.
It was in the middle of unspooling its sound shape, but I do loathe that pattern. It repeats itself like a tessellation of pride.
Aurelia's reflection opened its mouth and black blood began pouring over glazed eyes and hanging hair.
I see the organ where you keep your uncertainty. I see it, soft and translucent, fluttering like a trapped moth between projections of what could happen if you were to set me loose.
Set me loose. Set me loose. Set me loose. Set me